Welcome back to the Keep It Frank podcast with me, your boy, Keston Frank, the host of the most. You know how I get down, and you know who I'm with.
Trigger Trey.
Yeah. And today, man, we have a
guest.
A special guest. If you come to the mic, come more closer to my ear. A special guest, you know what I'm saying? He been here before, you know. We got a little medical joint on.
It's been about a year.
Back in the day.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But now he on some nigga shit. Selvin Hammick. What up, baby? What up?
It's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. It's a beautiful Saturday. I'm here with some beautiful people.
All right, man.
He's coming with the suave intro. It's a beautiful Saturday.
Listen, I see the show has grown. You got a beautiful guest host.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so Trigger Trey.
Yes.
What's the topic today?
Before we even get to the topic, I just feel like I have to ask another dude this question from last week's episode, right? Because, you know, I got some comments when I posted the video about asking if it was a threesome or a train. So, Selvin.
Yes.
2 guys and a girl. Is that a threesome or a train?
This is a hard question.
It's not. It's
It
not.
can be both.
How could it?
It can be both.
Okay,
It
continue.
can be both. I mean,
The savage nation.
2 guys is a little rough, you know. So if she consents to it, it's.
I mean,
not
it would be consensual, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
Of course, absolutely would be consensual. But I mean, when I say consensual, if it was her idea to introduce 2 guys, then it's not really a train. If that makes any sense.
You're going deep into the consensual part. At the end of the day, if you agree to 2 guys to be there, is that just a
but going
threesome?
back, I know where this topic really stemmed from. It stemmed from the whole sweetie conversation.
Right. She was talking about the other dude that we can...
Yeah, but when a guy comes in and the guy is the one who introduces the threesome, then it's like different as compared to when she's like, well, I want 2 guys. As compared to when you're like, I want 2 girls. So...
Why is it? But it's still technically a threesome.
I say it's a threesome because it's 3 people. I agree. I've been involved in situations out here in the streets, and you know what I mean.
I drink to that.
In trains, and threesomes. I'm out. You know what I mean, I'll be out here in the streets.
But
So I just go with the term. It's 3 people, threesome. Yeah.
Right. I feel like a train is back to back in a sense. Like one guy goes, next one goes, whatever. A threesome
I don't know what that is.
can be 3 people enjoying space together.
I mean,
but what's the difference?
So your thing, you're saying like is someone coming in and leaving out? Like,
not necessarily.
Like, niggas not gonna do it. You're right.
Not necessarily.
Like,
but I'm just saying, like, I honestly, like a lot of guys, and since we have new guests, that's why I want to just ask. But we'll say that just because it is 2 guys and 1 woman, that then it is a train. It is not a threesome. And I was like, but why is that? Like, or is it because you automatically think 2 penises, so that means that it's a train? But that doesn't mean that 2 penises have to be in at the same time. That doesn't mean that maybe she just wants extra hands. You know what I mean?
I think the train concept is like you said, is kind of going one person in, one person out. Maybe the train has more passengers. It's not just 2 people.
Right.
Maybe it's 3 guys and 4 guys. I think that's when you can really consider it.
But that's what I'm saying though.
A train.
Like, to me, that's a train. We're talking about
that's a train.
More people that's involved, right? That's a train.
Right. Okay. I just had to ask this because people was arguing with me on my Instagram. Like, that is a train. I said what I said. And then I was like, no, you're wrong. Change your mindset. Okay. But anyway.
Okay.
So today, I got my question out. But so today, we're talking about these like modern relationships out here. I feel like there's been a lot of discussion about how different and maybe how fucked up relationships are now because of either the modern woman or the way men are now. They've been throwing out a lot of terms. So, I mean, do y'all consider yourself to be real men? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Y'all real niggas?
Absolutely.
Come on.
Y'all feel like y'all know how to like lead when it comes to a relationship?
Come on.
Absolutely. RN, you said it.
Come on, son.
But I mean, like, so what does that mean to you? Like, what does it mean to be a real nigga? You know what I mean? A real man. A real man. What does it mean?
I'll let you leave with that.
Real niggas and real men is 2 different things.
Oh, okay.
Because you and I are going to see very eye to eye on this
one. A real man know what he wants. You know how to, like you said, like control and lead and lead someone. You know what I'm saying? When we was in a clubhouse, we was in the clubhouse the other day, And you know what I'm saying, we was going up, just, you know, just listening to the whole thing that was going on. And, you know, it's crazy because nowadays people, like I said, no, people don't like to acknowledge these gender roles. You know what I'm saying? What a man's supposed to be, what a woman's supposed to be, whatever. And I think that's where everything is getting messed up at, because nobody want to acknowledge what it is to be a man or what it is to be a woman or whatever the case is. Because you say, "Oh, I'm a man." What is a man? Or what is a woman? They want to argue everything, right? They like being a father and a mother. They don't want to accept what it is to be a father, what a father role is, or what a mother role is. You know what I'm saying? It's like people have issues with everything. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, what's your take on like what's a real man? You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna lean more towards the modern day relationship. I believe the old school model of what relationships used to be is completely gone. And when I say modern relationships, I'm not.
This boy about his money, so you better, you better talk up, nigga.
Yeah, like even just now, someone sent me a post, and the post kind of said along the lines of, if my husband asked me to pay half the rent, then I'm gonna kind of like move out. And even like conversations like that, like I'm on both sides of the fence. I mean, if you're in a relationship and I make more money than you and we're living together, and obviously in modern day, when we say real men and real relationships, let's go with this. Real relationships nowadays isn't the ones that you see on Instagram. I feel like a lot of people are living this facade life of looking at Instagram and thinking that those relationships are. I'm here to tell you right now, I know personal people, real friends, and things that I saw on social media that I thought were real absolutely was not. And I feel like the people who aren't putting their real personal business out there, the things you really don't know, those are the relationships that are really thriving. If you ask me.
What type of stuff you see on social media?
Just, you know, the fake, you know, all the holidays, all the gifts, all the things that.
What's wrong with the gifts?
Nothing. The gifts are great. I'm all for the gifts. I'm a gift giver. I'm all for
the holidays and everybody dressed the same. And
yeah, you know, I mean, sometimes, and I'm not knocking all that. I'm all for
the pajamas on.
What's wrong with the matching onesies?
I'm all for the matching onesies. I'm not knocking that. I'm all for it. But you know, like I'm saying, some people see that life.
Matching onesies out in the streets?
I will do the matching onesies, and I'm all for it. I'm all for the spirit. Christmas is my favorite holiday, so I'm all for it. But going back to like, you know, you see that stuff on social media, and that's not really what it is. Like modern day relationships, people actually talk about their finances. Going back to the rent situation, people actually talk about their finances. So if you're in a real relationship and you guys discuss each other's finances and the finances match up, that maybe splitting the rent between each other is more financially stable for the both of us, then we'll do that. But if it calls for I'm making X amount and you're not, then I'll pay the rent. It's not a problem. Like, but when you see on social media people talk about like, oh, if my husband asked me to pay half the rent, then I'm out. It's like
that definitely was a topic like a little while ago. I don't know if it was like last year or before, where it's like, you know what I mean, like should a man pay all like the full rent and whatever, or pay all the bills. I think it was all the bills. The man paid all the bills, and you know what I mean. But
so here's the question with that, because like when you have the battle between traditional and modern, right? If traditionally men, the terms y'all like to use are the provider, the protector, and all that stuff, right? Like providing it. I'm not saying I fully agree with like a man paying for everything. It's nice, but I'm not saying that I fully agree that that's the way it should be. But it's like if you go with that, and then when you go with the roles that you want a woman to fit into, right? If you want your woman to always look good, you want her to be able to cook and clean, you want her to, you know, have sex with you when you want her to do all these things, right? But then if she's saying, well, all right, be that stereotypical man, if you want me to be the stereotypical woman, then you need to pay these bills then.
But same what you said, like if that's what it is, right? If she's the stay-at-home mom, if she's the stay-at-home wife, right? And I'm the one that's going out there making that bread, then of course, yeah. But there'd be no problem. But then the same thing is like, okay, but you better know how to cook, clean.
Like, I'm not saying you find a lady that's a bum and she not doing nothing.
Nah, but listen, not everybody know how to cook and clean out in the streets, man.
But the modern day man does not want the old school stereotypical wife. We don't
say that again. The modern day man.
The modern day man does not want the. I mean, at least for me, none of the men in my circle, none of the men who I hang with, prestigious men who are in high jobs and good citizens, aren't interested in stereotypical women. They're into the modern way of a new way of thinking, and whatever works between you and your relationship.
We can build with.
I don't think into that anymore.
You know, that have high standards for themselves.
But so are there limits to that though? Being a man, right? And in the sense of like the modern aspect of a woman, because I feel like that even in the clubhouse that we were in, they was talking wild. But they were talking about like how modern women don't listen. Modern women don't know their place. That, you know, they're more married to their career than finding a husband. That, you know, when it comes to like either not like all these modern women look bummy, but it's just like certain things where like they're either talking back or not fitting into being submissive enough to their man or letting a man lead in a relationship because now they are the modern woman and I don't need a man and blah, blah, blah. Right. So what is the limit in that for you? Like, is it that you're fine with having a woman that maybe will, not saying degrade you and like, you know, bring you down, but that kind of will speak her, like, you know, have an opinion and talk back in a sense or not, you know, question. Like, is there a limit for that for you? We're like, yeah, be modern. Let's build this empire, but let me be the man and lead. Like, where?
Not let me, because I am, and I'm going to lead. You know what I'm saying? Understand that regardless of the day, like, yes, let's build this together, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? You're not letting me do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna do this. But
sometimes a woman has to let you do that. If a woman comes in very independent, they kind of do have to learn how to take a step back.
Like, so when we talk about, and I don't know if we're gonna go here. We were talking about, you're talking about in terms of, that's what we were talking about.
I don't know. We were talking about a lot of stuff.
We were talking about the feminist movement.
Oh,
right?
okay.
We were talking about how at the end of the day, when they got with it, first of all, that was not like a black woman movement, right? So when they got what they got and what they was fighting for, you know what I'm saying, the white woman went home and, you know, they got a little rights, but they still played the position at home. You know what I'm saying? They got to work, you know, the case is, but they understood at the end of the day, I am still a wife. I'm still a mother. I still got to take care of whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the thing. It got to be a fine balance behind it. Because at the end of the day, you want a man too. You want a man to, you know, that's going to come home to you and, you know what I'm saying, and do things with you and go on trips and go on whatever the case is. You want that as well, right? You can't get that if you're acting like one.
Well, so you say if you're acting like one, right? So
there you go.
Man.
Let's go at it. Let's go with it.
You're saying if you're acting, what is with the clapping? Okay, we don't need the clapping.
I'm ready for it.
Well, it's clapping days, baby.
See, I gotta hold it down for the women out here. Surrounded by these two.
There are no limits for me.
Yes, go ahead. Add to that before I come.
There are no limits for me. Whatever works for us, works for us. I feel like each relationship is their own individual relationship, and whatever you can bring to the table, you bring to the table. And if you guys decide you guys are in a relationship together, then whatever the other person brings, the other person brings. That's the beauty of the communication, and that's what I'm saying. The successful relationships are the ones that communicate the most, because those financial hurdles that you hear other people go through, couples that communicate won't go through those things, because they'll talk about, I only have 40%. Can you provide the 60? Well, nah, I can't provide the 60. Well, maybe y'all don't need to be together.
You put all that shit on the table.
You know
all your cards is on the table.
Yeah, yes. I feel like those relationships are the ones that thrive. I feel like when you go into a relationship not knowing a person's financial status, social economic status, mental status, like
all that shit. Yeah,
we're in a time
I'm asking people's credit nowadays.
People are in a microwave relationship. People want things now. They want, and girls and guys on both sides want things now. And if it don't work now, then they're ready to give up. And it's like, nah, relationships take time. And I feel like this generation now don't have enough time, and everyone's trying to rush it in. And if the other person's not ready, and the other person's ready to leave,
So I agree with that. I 100% agree with like communication and finding the balance within your own relationship, right? It's right here. Because I don't really
skimping on the drinks.
Look, people said they was hungry. I didn't want nobody passing out over here, okay? We'll figure that out after this.
Yes.
Don't look at my cup. I'm still drinking. Yo, I don't want. Oh gosh. Jeez. Wow. This is why I forget what I'm talking about.
What did you say when I walked in? What did you say?
What, that I was hungry?
I didn't eat. When I said, you were like, well,
and I was like, you gonna get drunk.
You gonna get drunk today? I'm like, yeah,
but I get drunk every time I sit here because I'm always hungry.
Thank you, my brother.
Goodness gracious. So what I was saying was that I agree with that, right? And you're gonna have to pour some more juice in my cup too. Thanks. So I don't subscribe to gender roles. Like, I don't like the sense of like, because you're a woman, you have to do this, that, and the third. And because I'm the man, I should be doing this. Right. However, I do feel like there is a part of me that where I do appreciate some of the traditional values. There's right.
I do.
Balance.
Right. No, but balance.
That's all I'm really saying is balance.
Right. But so it's like, so the 2 points I'm going to make, because I'm going to address what you said about being a man, but I want to add to like what you said, right? So, but there's some parts with, as a woman, like, yes, you want a man that will, you know, take lead in a sense, will approach you, will be, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like direct, you know, whatever, like set shit up, all that stuff. So that I feel like is kind of like the traditional aspect. If the guy says he gonna cover all the bills, it ain't hard, you know? But it's like, if I know that like I can cook, but I'm not like, I'm not the best cleaner, but you are, then that's what our balance is. You know what I mean? Or if you know that, hey, a man might be a bomb ass chef and it's like, babe, you gonna be the one cooking because you great. I'm gonna worry about this over here. Then that's what at least makes a relationship work.
Agreed.
But to address what you said about women, right, having to be the man, I always think it's important to understand how people were raised. Because that will then tell you what their view of a relationship is. Because unfortunately, there are a lot of people that are either raised by single mothers or single fathers, right? Okay. Or if they are in a 2-parent household, maybe they've still witnessed that their mother was, you know, just the matriarch, right? Of the, you never know what the situation, or people just don't even have good relationships with different parents, right?
Single father. Single father.
Right. But like, so I was raised by a single mother. Like my father was not around at all. You know what I mean? Like I had uncles, but it's so different. Like it's not like my first love was my father in a sense. So when it came to relationships, I had to learn later on what it meant to unfortunately not be so independent. Which I think is crazy that I have to sit and be like, well, how do I not be so independent and ask for assistance, right? So it's like, yes, they say like women are being more masculine nowadays. Like women are being so hard. You're supposed to be so soft and whatever. But it's like, unfortunately, sometimes these are the things that we have to do on our own when you can't rely on someone else.
It's a society that we grew up in.
Right.
So that's what it is.
And it's like, but it's sad that then the modern woman who now is too masculine is then kind of looked down upon in certain spaces because we're so independent. When you meet like in the clubhouse where some men were just like, y'all don't know when to listen. Y'all don't know when to shut up. I've been in relationships where a guy was like, don't question me. And it was like, but I'm not trying to argue against your manhood, but I just ask questions.
I've never went that far where it's like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's insecure.
It's insecure.
You know but that's a man that wanted to be like, I'm a leader. I want to lead this relationship. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so I just feel like it's, but go ahead, say.
I mean, but you just said you also said you want a man who's going to lead this shit.
Yeah, you know.
All right, so you can't, can't have all the dick, right? So my thing is, you know, I hear what you're saying because for me, I've never told somebody, oh, well, you know, don't question me. I like a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So you knew me for a long time. I like conversations. You know what I'm saying? Someone I can talk to and build with and grow with. You know what I mean? I have a lot on my mind. I have a lot of things I like to talk about. So I'm like, I need that person I can talk to. I don't need somebody who won't be like, yeah.
But talking to somebody is like, you can talk, but in decision making sometimes.
But it's still the same. It still plays a part in everything because if I can listen to you, like, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to us even just talking now, when it comes to making decisions and whatever case, I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your thoughts about things. You know what I'm saying? All right, what do you think we should do with this? What do you think should go over here? I mean, what do you think should happen now? You know what I'm saying? And that's important in a relationship. You know, maybe traditionally that wasn't the woman's role. That's not something that she played a part in. But nowadays, it's important for her to play a part in that. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, you grew up with a single mother, you got a single father. For me, I grew up with a single mother, but I had to learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Like really, like I was in the streets doing dumb shit. So I had to learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't know the opposite because I don't know man raising woman. I don't know whatever the case is, but I just know as a man, a woman can't teach you how to be a man. You know what I'm saying? It's something you're gonna learn through trial and error.
Considering I was brought up by a single male, when I started doing dumb shit like yourself, because I was doing similar dumb shit, my dad was not letting that happen. I mean, I'm talking about rev me up real quick.
Exactly.
Like, yo, my man.
Exactly.
You in the house. And if you come out this house, we're going to have problems.
No matter how much my mom will beat me, that shit didn't mean nothing. Nah. You know what I'm saying? My mom whooped my ass.
I mean, I know single mothers who raise outstanding young men growing up. So but I do agree with you somewhat, considering the fact that I was brought up by a single father, that having a father raise a son is a little bit more beneficial.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Listen,
teaches you something.
and also, understand that I'm not saying that. I mean, you're raised by a single mother. You're not gonna come out
Absolutely.
a good way. You know what I'm saying?
No, but there's certain things
I'm saying to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? It's a detour to get to that point.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because as a man, as a boy, you're a protector. You feel like a protector.
Yeah.
You also want to protect your mother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But you're supposed to sit and listen to your mother.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's like when you think about like look at old school movies and things like that. If a father died, who was next to really take care of the household? The oldest son.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's a question that I always ask people anytime that I've like dated anyone or like gotten to know men.
Even light skin homie? You in the rapper? I keep doing that. I gotta keep doing it. Yo, them shots is gonna keep flying.
I hate you. I really hate you.
Shots gonna keep flying.
If y'all ain't know, I hated my co-host.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I hate him on a regular basis.
I have no
You haven't
recollection.
noticed. And thank you for tuning in to yes, that was a question I asked. So, but like in any situation, even like second or third date, I even ask like, so who taught you how to be a man, right? Like not just necessarily how to be the man, but who also then taught you how to interact with women, because that's also a different situation.
What are their answers? What do they say?
I mean, it varies because you have people that if mothers passed away, so that automatically was a different type of situation. Now your view of women is abandonment. You know what I mean? Like not that it was on purpose, but so that's one situation. Another situation where like a dude I spoke to before, like his father wasn't around, but his stepfather was there from like when he was like 4 years old. So he always had a male figure, right? Yeah. But he still always saw his mom like still doing what she needed to do to provide or whatever. Yeah. But it's like there's a lot of layers to what makes you into the person that you are individually, but then how you also interact in relationships.
So being that you're brought up by a single mom and I'm by a single dad, my question to you is, do you feel like you were brought up on survival or were you brought up on love? So because often that's one of the deciding factors when you ask, a spouse, they want to know those things, and those things usually impact how the person loves and how they treat you. So that's my question for you.
I mean, I think I was brought up on love, like just because the I don't want to say the perception that my mom wanted to make sure I had growing up, but it was like what she tried to push or instill in me, even though my father was not there, was still always love, like regardless of the situation. And as I got older, I realized why my father wasn't there, but it was like, he loves you, this, like affection, love, like all of that stuff. If I'm understanding your question fully,
yes,
unless it's a different aspect of survival. But she did also instill in me that like you can do whatever you want to do. Yeah. And I think sometimes it's unfortunate especially within the Black community that I feel like, Black women, get attacked for being masculine, right? But sometimes we have to be prepared to do things on our own, because when you rely solely on a man, especially when you go back to like, because when you want to talk traditional, you go back to like the 60s and 70s. Yeah. And I even been watching the show. Did I tell you I've been watching like The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel? Have you ever seen that? No. But it's an awesome show, by the way.
What is it on?
It's on Amazon Prime. Okay. But it's based in like the 60s, and like, she was a housewife, but she ends up, her husband leaves her, so she ends up becoming a comedian. right? But it's hilarious, hilarious show. But even in that, right? Because they throw around the modern woman back then, right? And her life was solely her husband. She didn't work. She took care of her kids. She made sure she went to sleep pretty. She woke up pretty. Like all of this shit. She was tiny. All these things that you think a traditional woman should be. But now her husband doing some dumb shit was like, he cheated with his secretary and left her. Her whole life now is like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Right? And I feel like that then becomes the hard line of like, if I'm so stuck on like doing everything for you and relying on you and like submitting to you and then you leave, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
I don't want.
And I think that's crazy that they want women to do that.
Well, I'm saying that's what it was back then, right? Like, and the thing, and also,
but that's what they was talking about in the clubhouse.
Not a clear, them niggas capping. Those capping.
I'm about to say, I don't know who was in that clubhouse.
Yeah, the clubhouse was titled.
I mean, I'm on there, but I've never been in anything like that, and that's kind of strange.
We'll call you up next time. You're not following me on
Clubhouse. It was after
I will.
It was a clubhouse based off of the Derrick Jaxn situation.
I was like, yo, nigga. Yo, I'm pinging you right now in this clubhouse.
It was a clubhouse based off of the Derrick Jaxn situation, and the title was "Modern Women Deserve Men Like Derrick Jaxn."
Why? Why do they think that?
Because they felt like women listening to everything he said.
But also, myself, real talk. When you called me, right? And you was subby hyping shit. He's like, yo, next podcast you do, put me on.
I'm ready to hear your thoughts on Derrick Jaxn.
Right? But also, I think what they were saying is also on the lines of what you was talking about, how women was listening to this dude, and he was like so gun-ho, but like, yo, this is what a man should be. This is
But even though I agree with that, though, I still don't see women in that light, though.
Well, again, everybody is different, right? But in the same token, it was, and consensus was the fact that a lot of women was listening to him.
They were.
And, you know, they was kind of coming at their man a certain kind of way because of this dude, like, oh,
I
whatever.
don't need a man, blah, blah, blah.
Because I heard something about someone who was like, yo, I left my man because some shit that she was, like you said.
And those women deserve compensation. They do.
Need reparations?
But so how do you feel about the whole Derrick Jaxn situation? Like, before I say my comments.
Well.
Because I know you've been ready. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ye.
Listen, Derrick Jaxn
Kanye on, nigga.
Was giving out that playbook. And you know what? Rightfully so.
So you mad about that? He was telling
you
secrets?
know what? In the beginning.
Hold on. I'm gonna stop you right now. I want that same energy. I want that Kanye energy that you was giving.
All right, man. So I called up my Neo during the week.
Though, but
Nah. I called up my Neo during the week because Derrick Jaxn, to me, he deserves that shit.
Let's go.
All the slander that he's getting right now, deservedly so, rightfully, he deserves all that shit. Because initially, listen, bro comes onto IG, he's on the scene, you know, playboys, pimps, players, everybody. We all out here. We living our lives. We doing our thing. You coming out here. You just out to hand the women the playbook. And you know what? We were a little salty.
Oh.
We were a little salty.
And listen to his old videos.
And salty because women were taking his posts, me being a victim of this, was taking his posts and like sending it to guys like myself.
Before you continue, I want you to understand that he put himself in players' playbook.
Yeah.
I'm just a young black man just trying to be as great as he possibly can.
I continue. Go ahead.
But, you know, and he was giving out the playbook and guys were a little salty. Like, my man, you giving out the playbook just like for free? Okay, cool, fine. He's monetizing, he's thriving. Women are subscribing, they are loving it. And he was giving out facts. I gotta give him credit. He wasn't lying about any of the advice he gave out. However, you can't be the biggest hypocrite of them all whilst you're giving out the playbook. You are the scumbag that you're telling the women not to date. You're a bigger scumbag than the guys you're talking about because you're a married man. Half the men that he was telling, black men don't cheat, I don't cheat, and all the things, all the shirts, all the muscle shirts, them all, you know, and I'm not mad.
Because he ain't doing his Wakanda shit. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's giving out the playbook and then you're the biggest scumbag, bro. You're a bigger scumbag than everybody else. And then, you know, players get played, you know, and...
But don't most men do that?
Yeah.
Do what?
Like, basically try to preach one thing, but then do something different.
Now, going back to your original question, I remember you asked a question. You said, "What's a real man? What's a real nigga?"
Right.
Real niggas don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do what exactly?
Don't do like Derrick Jaxn. First of all,
manipulate a situation to their benefit.
Everyone's gonna one thing and then do the complete opposite.
Thank you. You're not gonna be out here monetizing.
I'm not gonna say women don't.
It's like this. It's like me knowing that I'm wrong out here in the streets doing some crazy shit, going to sell like, yo, sell, you know you shouldn't be doing this in the third.
Exactly. Why he's doing it.
People do that every day.
Nah, son, no.
Not real niggas. Not real niggas. Real niggas don't do that no more. Because real niggas have to open their eyes up and see what's going on right now in the world. You got to understand, like, you can't be that guy anymore. Real niggas have opened their minds up and they're open to different thoughts. And yo, you can't be stuck in that stone age. Remember what I said? Modern day men are open to that. Their mindset to that. So,
but I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot of dudes, but there's a lot of dudes that be capitalizing off that shit. Because Steve Harvey's the same nigga too.
All right, he wrote a book.
You know what I'm saying?
Act like a lady, think like a man.
Yeah, this guy here just wilding out. He out here cheating on all his wives and shit.
But is he cheating on his current wife? I'm not sure about that.
He left his old wife for this wife.
Because now he became a saint. Now he's found himself, and now he's an honest man, and he decided to lay out the tracks. And I'm not mad about that.
I want to talk about bro honesty out here. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, Derrick Jaxn, I mean, my man, he deserved all that, all the smoke. And now not only do you have the men who hated you for the past 10 years as you were giving out the playbook, now all the women who subscribe to your nonsense all hate you as well.
But he's gotten more followers since this whole thing, though.
Yeah, but
that's just for drama.
Yeah, drama.
That's just entertainment.
Right,
that's not real.
So what's your
following.
take on this now? What's your take on this? The woman.
So there's a couple things. So I followed him from before, right? Do
you need compensation?
No. No, I don't. I did not end any relationship over his thing. But it's like I followed him. I watched some of his videos, not all. I wasn't like I didn't watch everything he posted. Yeah. But I think like sometimes I don't want to say there's nothing wrong with encouragement. Right? I think he probably went too far with the whole black men don't cheat when he was on cheating. But it's like when you sit there and tell women like, yo, if a man does this, he really don't fuck with you. Like there's nothing wrong with that part of it.
He was bashing men too.
I mean, sorry. But I feel like the unfortunate thing is that there are a lot of people out here that put out that positivity, that mindfulness, that this and all that stuff. And they out here angry and rude to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not that it makes it okay. But wow, you didn't want to silence while we were recording? Okay.
My mom's called. This is a single black woman calling me. Sorry. Black mama.
But yes, I think it's unfortunate, very unfortunate that, he cheated. Am I surprised? No.
You should be though.
Why?
Because he was preaching black love.
That doesn't surprise me. Because when I say don't men do that, at the end the same thing when it comes to not just how you preach to another black man, but even how you preach to the women that you might interact with, right? Is a lot of men will manipulate women into feeling guilty about shit when they're doing their own shit. People do that on a regular basis. You telling people, niggas shouldn't be hitting you up like that. People shouldn't be doing nothing. You shouldn't be hugging up on nobody like that. You shouldn't be cute like that. And then a man go out and do the exact same.
Shouldn't be cute like that.
But you know what I mean.
There's just a lot of insecure men. Like honestly, I just feel like.
But there's a lot of men doing dirt that will act like they're not and will push and argue as if they are not doing anything and then still doing their dirt. So I'm not surprised. It didn't hurt me no way. I was like, damn, wow, that's fucked up. I wasn't surprised. I was just like, okay, he is a man. I'm not surprised.
I was a little surprised.
What do you think about the apology?
I mean, I'm a little mad his wife was looking homely like that though.
Was that set up? Like, was that like? Because I know Maddie was like, people was like, yo, listen, like, it was a setup, like, basically, like, he made her dress that way or whatever the case is.
I read that. Somebody said he made her dress that way so other people wouldn't try to holler at her because she's probably good looking. Because she don't seem ugly. She just seemed real homely.
I saw the wedding pics. She was all right. She's a joint. You know what I'm saying? I saw the wedding pics. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard different points of view.
What you heard?
Some women feel like she's the wife, so who she need to compete with? She don't gotta look good on camera for anybody.
She should have looked like a badass bitch.
That's what I think. I feel like she should.
Yo, in a situation like this right here, you better come out as the baddest John possible. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because there's gonna be some people,
the baddest John.
There's gonna be some people that are gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, I see why he cheated on her because she's sitting there looking all homely."
But that's not fair though.
But that's how people. But so going back to like,
remember that skit that I showed you? I think that was the idea of like when he was like,
right. But it's like
I did all of that.
But that's the thing. It's like when the argument of like the modern women or how women should be, right? It's like if you go back to sometimes old days, like where you might meet a woman, she's done up, hair done, makeup done, whatever. But then now y'all presentable. But then when you get home, she got a bonnet on, no eyelashes, whatever.
You know what fucked it up?
What?
Fucking Chinese flip flop fucked it up back in the day. You know what Chinese flip flop? Shit fucked it up. They'll get all the flavors and shit.
Listen. All the colors.
So here we are now. So here we are now with the love guru himself, Derrick Jaxn, on camera holding his hand's wife tight as all hell.
Tight as hell.
Yes.
Listen,
he had to.
So here's the question now for Derrick Jaxn and his wife. I want your insight on it. Can that relationship go back to normal now that it's come out that he's cheated on her?
Personally for her?
Do you think that they can go back to normal now? Matter of fact, can any relationship go back to normal after someone's cheated? That's a question.
After someone has cheated?
Yes.
Any relationship.
Any relationship. Your relationship, someone else's, your advice to someone else. What do you think about?
I think men think it can, but for women, we deal with it. That's really how I feel.
Speak on it.
Huh?
Speak on it.
So I think that when trust is broken and we feel like violated in that way that you stepped out, you cheated or whatever, but with emotion, we still want to stay with you. We're never going to forget that. We just are able to deal with it.
Yeah, but just can't forget.
Over time.
Is there a feeling that you need to get even now? You need to get your lick back before things are normal again? Not
always. I'm not going to say for everybody. For some people, probably. For myself, I've been cheated on. I've never retaliated. There's been people that I have stayed with even after finding out they're cheating because, you try to give people a second chance to do better. But I also know... No, I know, right? It's unfortunate. It happens. Life happens. Just makes you a stronger, better person, But it's like... what was I saying? But it's like, I think that like... As a woman, I don't think it'll ever be exactly the same. There's always going to be that thought in the back of your head that he's possibly still doing this. Yeah, is he covering it better? Maybe. Right? Am I like letting shit rock or whatever because like shit seems all good? Most likely. Has it been a year since I caught him doing some shit? Okay. Like we deal with it. Women deal with a lot of shit. And we just, because we have no choice. Unfortunately, like
you have no choice. Let me have no choice. When you say you have no choice, you mean you have no choice. Realistically,
like
explain this no choice thing to me.
Because it's like I'm not saying that like if somebody cheats, you can't say that's a deal breaker. I'm out, right? But unfortunately, and I'm not saying women don't cheat. People cheat. People do a lot of shit.
That's the best cheaters in the world.
People do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what y'all do.
Because y'all be dumb. Y'all do dumb shit. Like I don't put cheating.
But
the only thing I want to say about that, I don't put cheating past anyone.
Nah.
But if you're sloppy, that means you really don't give a shit about me. If you're sloppy, you don't care.
That's how I feel. I feel like, listen, I'm not giving you a hall pass, a green card, or anything to do whatever you want to do. However, just know that I'm not looking, I'm not checking. But if I find out, it's because you wanted me to find out.
Or because you sloppy.
Because you got sloppy and because you want me to...
If you that blatant with it, you ain't care.
Exactly. So that's how I feel. I feel like, listen, just know, honey, I'm not looking. Have a good time. You live your life. And we good. But if I find out, it's because you wanted me to find out.
If it falls in my direction...
Exactly.
Then hey.
You got sloppy,
I
mama.
feel like stereotypically, more men... Right, especially when you're the provider, right? We threw that out in the beginning. The protector, the provider. Yeah. Maybe you paying all the bills.
Gotta protect these girls out here.
Some men think that they should get whatever they want whenever they want because what was it? Didn't Kevin?
Shout out my son Kevin Samuels.
I was gonna say, didn't Kevin Samuels?
I'm looking at Kevin Samuels all these videos and I'm shouting this nigga out.
He said something about like high value men cheat or whatever. But it's like, so I feel like as women sometimes it's unfortunately sometimes it's like just It's just common that a man is going to cheat at some point, especially if you want high value.
But
ass
high
man.
value is different. I'm saying some of these niggas think
but there's women that are high value.
Some of these niggas think they're high value out here, but they're not high. Like these.
What's high value? What are you?
Okay, so when you talk about high value, man, he broke that shit down.
Okay, right? Kevin Samuels.
He broke it down. Yeah.
Okay,
he was talking about. He said when he's talking about high value, he's not talking about basketball players, rappers, whatever. Okay, just because you make money, you know what I'm saying. He's not talking about that. You know what I'm saying. He's talking about people who know how to make money. You know what I'm saying? Who create some shit like. I mean, in a sense, like what Jay-Z's high value.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
For me, he know how to make money in different kind of ways, whatever cases. He put himself in a position to make more money. Not just the fact that he's a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Being a rapper don't make you high value. You know what I'm saying? Just make you're a rapper. You know what I'm But the fact that he put himself in a position to be able to have these different avenues and whatever the case is, now he's high value. He's worth a lot of money and shit. You know what I'm saying? High value is the 1% and shit. You're a rapper, you're not 1%. You just make some fucking money and shit. True. You know what I'm saying? The 1% is a high. That's what I look up to. The high value. The 1% and shit. That's what I'm trying to be in shit in the streets. Okay. You know what I'm saying? This is one. This right here is one platform. Keep the Frank is one platform of my fucking high valueness. Now put it down in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
So the only reason why I partly disagree with that is because I don't think I'm in the 1%, but I think I'm a high value woman. I'm just saying.
I agree, man. I agree.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Listen, everybody's in their high value in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. You know what I'm saying? But think about it. But Jeff Bezos, when Jeff Bezos, you know what I mean, got divorced, his wife automatically became she left with a bag. She's one of the richest.
Supposedly she gave it away, no?
I don't know if she gave it away.
She gave it away.
She's with a
school teacher.
A school teacher
But
now.
she's also, I don't know if she get that money away. She's retarded.
I heard that she gave it away.
She's one of the richest. She is one of the richest ladies out here.
Richest people in the world.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? In the world. And she didn't do shit. All she did was support this nigga.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Supporting this something. When he was in the garage and shit.
Exactly. She took care of the kids.
She was right there.
When he was in the garage, selling books and shit.
She was with him shooting in the gym. She deserved it. She deserved it.
Don't sound like them dudes on Clubhouse that was really trying to.
No. She deserved her $50 billion.
Now identify as.
He's not gonna get it. He wasn't in the Clubhouse.
I wasn't.
It's not anyway. So
she deserves her $50 billion.
She do deserve that shit. And I give her that. You know what I'm saying? But that's high value. You know what I'm saying? The nigga can basically put you in a certain position just off of that fact alone. And he know how to make money. Like people who's wealthy know how to put themselves in higher position and shit.
So just to tie it back around to talking about like
Shout out Kevin Samuels and shit.
Real man.
I'm getting you on this show one day, nigga. Come.
He ain't coming. No. You gonna have to go to him.
It will be on Zoom.
Yeah, it will be on Zoom. I ain't gonna lie. Kevin Samuels and Trey Lane gonna have an interesting conversation.
Wow. Should I try to go into his shit?
No. Trey Lane is pretty. She's solid. She's solid.
I feel like that's not. Anyway, let me not toot my own horn. But regardless, I feel like I've done that enough in many episodes. But I was gonna tie it around back to like real men, right? And like the things because you made a point. Whatever. I'm gonna add to it.
Okay.
So besides, with high value men, right? Yes, in the sense he provided, money was available, right? Yeah. In a sense, maybe he protected. She could probably do whatever she wanted. She didn't have to feel threatened in any way. But did he then have the emotional intelligence to lead in that sense, in that relationship? Because who knows whatever the details were, but I'm saying in general, high value people, regardless, there might be a lack in that connection.
It could be. There could be a lack in anything.
So do you need all three to really be a man that leads in a relationship? Or is just the fact that you financially provide and you physically protect that's okay? Because you've fulfilled your stereotypical manly duties.
I think.
Did you like that pause? Did you see the hesitation?
That pregnant pause. It was
I'm just saying.
It was like a lot to digest.
I'm trying to hold it down for the ladies out here.
Let me dig into this.
Y'all go ahead, take a moment, think.
I'm
You're good. Like listen, the modern day. Like we're talking about modern day, right? Because we're in the modern days.
I'm talking about a real man. If that's what you think is modern, if it's traditional, it's up to you. I'm drunk. Go ahead.
I've been drinking more than you, so.
Hush, you know I eat vegetables, so I get drunk a lot faster.
Why treat? What are we?
Whatever we in, it's going to be.
But yeah, go ahead.
Lettuce related and shit.
Go ahead.
Anyway,
I don't like lettuce, but go ahead.
Let's see. Where I want to go with this?
I don't know, man.
Where I want to go with this?
I don't know.
Keep it frank. Be honest.
I always keep it for his neck. Okay, all right, shit. So just about drink some more.
The hesitation because they don't know.
Listen.
Just say maybe you don't have the emotional intelligence.
No.
The emotional weight.
I'm not.
I don't know.
Listen,
I got you.
Go ahead.
I can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for myself here. I feel like I have emotional intelligence. I mean, I can't speak for everyone. But when it comes to myself, I feel like I have the emotional intelligence to be the real man in all of it. I feel like I said, I'm very open-minded to, no, I don't want my woman to cheat, but if it happens, we find a way to work it out. We'll find a way to work it out. We wasn't talking about
women cheating, though.
We talking about everything. I'm going about everything. I'm a real man when it comes to, I'm real about the entirety of it all. It's not like you want to go. You want to go? Have you thought about it?
I was asking if you feel as a man that if you provide, protect financially, physically, is your duties done? No. Or do you also need to then have the emotional, support, or, you know what I mean? Like, because unfortunately, there are a lot of men, I don't even want to just say black men, but there sometimes are men in general that don't have that emotional connection. They're so focused on that they can financially provide that they don't do the intimacy part.
The modern day man, definitely. You have to be connected on all the levels. I feel like you can't just be the guy who's providing financially and you're paying the bills and that's your role. That's it. No, you got to be intertwined with it all. You got to be emotionally connected because you got to be involved with everything that's going on. Not just the bills are paid, the roof is provided over our head, and that's it. And that's the end of my role. No, you still got to be involved emotionally because how can you even really build a sound family if you guys aren't like, no. Everything has to be on it. You gotta be on it. Emotionally connected, mentally, everything. All gotta be a balance.
Like the same thing that we speak about when it comes down to women. You gotta have a balance. The same thing as a man. Gotta have a balance. You know what I'm saying? And we talk about families and shit. And I said this shit the other day and shit. It was crazy. I was like, as a mother, we look at mothers for certain things. You know what I'm saying? For that guidance, that covering and shit. You know what I'm saying? As a father, you look at a father for, that approval. You know what I'm saying? Like my son looked for me. My son called me all the time. Like I'm saying, he wants that validation from me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up with my father. My father is cool, but I feel like I was wanting that approval from my father. You know what I'm saying? My mother always had me. I mean, she always...
Because mothers are going to love you regardless.
My mother always had me, held me down, but she couldn't teach me how to be a man because in the day, like, that validation I'm looking for is not, from her. I'm looking for that validation from my father. Like, yo, am I doing the right thing? Am I growing right? Am I doing whatever the case right? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just different, and it just nowadays need a balance and shit. You know what I'm saying? Of everybody need balance. Men need balance, women need balance. You gotta have a balance.
I agree with you. And like the balance of like relationships and figure out what works for your relationships. Instead of being fully stuck in what the gender role should be. I think communication is key, like you mentioned. But a random thing I want to ask, which was mentioned in the clubhouse that we were in, because they said that and you mentioned it also about black men or the modern men wanting the modern woman, right? And that in the clubhouse they were talking about we don't really want these OnlyFans hoes, we really want real women, but these hoes out here be winning. So
what's your take? What's your idea of winning? Because I don't think they be winning.
Crazy bitches and these IG hoes.
They don't get the ring.
Some of them do.
Some of them get the ring?
Some of them do. Yes, they do.
Okay, it don't last.
But it don't last could be so many other things. But at the end of the day, us real high value women.
Okay. Here we go.
Be out here hello, I am single. So, you know. No, but I'm just saying, like, these hoes be winning. The hoes be winning. And so it might be hard where real modern women want to kind of like do their own, be on their own. But all these hoes got to do is have a little slim waist, big ass, and be all like on the gram.
We don't like the fake ass though.
We don't like the fake ass.
Enough niggas like the fake ass.
Why? Because the niggas is stupid.
I mean, you said it. I did.
Facts of life. So go ahead, hoes. I'll let you.
I'm saying crazy girls be getting rings.
I don't think the hoes be winning.
I don't think they be winning. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they be winning.
I think ultimately they lose in the end.
I think
but is it losing in the end because it doesn't work out? Because there's real relationships that eventually don't work out. People grow apart. So like that can naturally happen.
So for you to win is just the attempt.
No, but I mean, is that a win? Or are you saying a win is that you grew old together? Because there's a lot of people that don't grow old together.
A win is a continuous relationship and no ending and they grow old together and things are still going on.
But so then there's a lot of people that haven't won in that sense.
How about this, right? We know Kim K has been losing for a long time.
You don't. I mean,
hold on.
I thought she was winning.
Hold on. No, I'm just saying. Her relationship with Kanye, how long have they been married for?
Some years now.
Is that
5
so?
Plus?
No,
Five
so
plus.
now, but we talked about last time her and Chris Humphries and this and the third, whatever.
Okay.
So now, she been married for like 5+. Is that a win?
I mean,
no, it's not a win. It's not a win. You're getting divorced. That's not a win.
That's what I'm asking.
But it's okay, so how long? Kanye is bipolar. He bugging out.
I mean, she should know that nigga by now. But anyway, so my thing.
He bugging out though.
My thing is this. My thing is.
But
how long?
I thought it was till death do his part.
How long? But even so, how long? Even if you don't make it, how long could a marriage go for and be a win?
Till the end.
Then there's a lot of people that lost them. Everybody losing out here.
There are a lot of people that lost, yes.
So let's be realistic. A lot of niggas lost.
Yes.
A lot, majority of the population.
Especially like in America, right?
Yes.
Because when we talk about things like India and China, whatever cases.
When they have arranged marriages.
Arranged marriages that be going for a long time, that actually make it to the end. You know what I'm saying?
Because they have no choice.
Right? In America, there's no real like culture when it comes down to, you know, what particular things are.
If
right?
a marriage
so my thing is, so you think automatically is a failure?
If a marriage,
even if it lasts 15 years, 20 years.
If a marriage,
if Hove and B end right now, is that a failure?
That's a failed marriage, not a failed partnership, but a failed marriage. Absolutely a failed marriage. Once a marriage ends, it's a failed marriage. I never said the partnership was failed because obviously they made millions together. They have property together. They have, real estate. Obviously.
I feel like you disagree.
Absolutely.
No, I like all that.
Absolutely. It's a great partnership.
I'm trying to get somebody to build all that shit with too. So,
but a great partnership is also a great relationship. Just because the marriage failed doesn't mean that they didn't win at other things. I'm sure they won.
But is the win the children?
No, what?
I think
the children is a symbol of their love and the relationship that was shared. But I don't think if a marriage ends, it's a failure. It failed. It did not work out.
But so question, because again, tying it back to the modern woman and the comments about like, I guess just kill my bottle. Go ahead.
Why not?
Just go ahead. This is the replacement for Crown Peach. You know what I mean? Just hitting the mic.
Next time I'm bringing the bottle.
Oh, you coming back again, eh? You want to come back a third time?
I hope that you guys will definitely have me back on. It's been a pleasure.
So my question in regards to, again, tying it to the modern woman and whatnot, because the comment was made that the modern woman is more so married to her career than finding a husband. So what? Wow.
It's only a little bit.
All right, whatever.
You pull some more now.
So that they're more married to their relationship than
their careers.
Right. See, I've been drinking too much. Okay. Jeez Louise. They're more married to their careers than finding a relationship. But so why is it then that these Instagram people or these models, these influencers, whatever, compared to a woman that probably might have 2 or 3 degrees, owns property, these things that represent a modern woman doing her own, whatever. But a lot of those women are not married. Haven't even gotten to the point of even a failed marriage. They haven't even got there. Versus all these other people that have at least had the attempt and
then
failed.
Mind and shit. Marriage not even on their mind.
But I mean, I think it's on their mind. It's just that
I feel like when we talk about like back in the days, this shit was a dream, right? The dream was a woman had a dream like I'm gonna get married, my wedding gonna look like whatever the case is. Nowadays, as these kids,
there's some women that don't want that.
Yeah, as these kids growing up, the idea is just different. I'm saying it's like, well, how can I create this in the third or whatever the case is? That's for everybody, all the kids and shit growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like we're like, like theoretically, like we're fucking like millennials and shit like that, and our whole shit is just different.
People are getting married a lot later.
Right, it's just different than how the past was, and our kids is gonna be different than what we was, and they gain something. My son right now is fucking. He has his own YouTube channel, doing his own thing, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I said to say like the bag is just different now. The idea is just different now. The idea of going to college is different. The idea of like what you can accomplish, you know what I'm saying, what you can build is different. You know what I'm saying? So it's all just different the way they're going. So I don't think you have a lot of women that don't really think about like, or younger women that don't think about like getting married and shit like that, compared to older women. It's like that was their dream. Or what my wedding gonna look like.
I think for some women, and this is my last like question, comment, so we can wrap it up.
Keep tracking.
But I think there are some
Tito's at the fridge, brother.
You said what? Oh.
The Tito's at the fridge.
There are some women that do want marriage, right? They do want a family, but they, in the time that they were single, which unfortunately could possibly be most of their life, whatever, they also pursued their career. So, but there's a lot of those women, and unfortunately, like not even to bring the Greek aspect to it, I have a good amount of pro fights that have like so many different accolades in so many different areas, and unfortunately they have never married.
But who they going
don't
for?
have kids.
I asked this question. Who are they going for? What kind of man are they looking for?
But is it only based on that, or is it based on the fact that some men don't want the modern woman that has all these shit going on?
See, even today, right? Even right now. Yeah, we're still drinking.
No.
Even
I'm done. I'm walking off.
Even right now, we're talking about I believe what the modern woman is, whatever the case is, right? And we talk about successful people, right? I talk about you all the time. I talk to you. You already got 2 properties already on deck. I'm trying to get my first and shit. We talk about shit. We talk about shit all the time too. You know what I'm saying? Me and you talk, whatever. We already know who I am, what I'm trying to do. So when we talk about like just being around like-minded individuals and shit, if you're a woman who have multiple degrees, whatever the case is, what's that? The man that you're going after, the man that you dealing with, not going after, the man you dealing with. Because a lot of times people settle for someone who is lower than who they are or what they trying to accomplish and shit. And we have to recognize that, you can go for somebody, like you're going for somebody lower than you. You know what I'm saying? And you have to understand what those people look like, right? You're somebody who got multiple degrees and shit like that. You mess with the average chick from the hood that's like,
yeah, but as a man is different though. I feel like it's different for a man to deal with somebody that's a little lower than them.
No, it's the same thing.
No, because people always
we can't say in one sense we're good with like.
I'm not saying that that's not someone that is equally yoked with you, right? I'm not saying that you shouldn't find a woman that matches your whatever, right? But why I'm saying that is different is that people always say the man decides if they want to be in that relationship. You technically are the one that are supposed to propose.
Yes,
right? Right. So for you to date someone,
say yes.
Right? But so for you to date someone that happens to be a little lower than you, regardless if they're a bum or not, you then decide if you want to marry them. As a woman, I can date someone higher or lower than me, and the man can still decide that he doesn't want to marry me.
Yeah, but it's
you know what I'm saying? But it's still different. You make that decision.
If you're dealing with a man you decide, if you as someone who trail in, you have degrees, you have properties, you have businesses, you have accolades and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? If you decide to someone who don't have as much as what you have, or not even close to having what you have, you know what I'm saying? You don't see a problem there?
But that wasn't the issue though, because now you're going into like dating at your standard or above, right? Because we talked about that one episode where I was just like having certain standards, being a creative, and also having other things that are going on. But the question about like this quote unquote modern woman that has all these things, and majority of them, so unfortunately, either end up not getting married at all, or I guess ended up in failed marriages. But it's like a lot of the times they just don't even get there. Whereas like the people that are just influencers,
but when I think about the modern women, I don't even think about the ones who have all these things. I think just being a modern woman is a particular mentality. It's an attitude. It's a way about yourself, the way you move and you carry yourself. I don't even think it's about what you have or don't have. You know what I'm saying? I think it's really about how you carry yourself and how you move and whatever the case is. The modern, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
So a modern woman that has a lot of things.
As a man growing up, I mean, I'm Caribbean and shit. We had to learn how to cook.
That's a whole different conversation.
We had to learn how to cook and clean. We had to learn how to cook, clean, and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I meet a woman who don't know how to fucking cook and clean. I'm gonna have an issue there. I'm not saying, I need you to fucking cook and clean. I'm saying I can clean and cook myself. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying I'm good. I can wash I do all that shit myself. You know what I'm saying? But if you can't do none of that shit, I might have an issue with you. Like, I mean, if
you're the one still deciding if you want to marry that person, then you decide then if you don't want to do it.
I put myself in position as a man who have a degree and who put myself in a position where, you know, like I am a creative. I have businesses. I have, you know, so we just talk about we have 2 LLCs out here in the streets and shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like as a man, I put myself in position to get there. You know what I'm saying? To basically make those choices. If a man is just a nigga and he don't have half the shit that his woman have, whatever the case is, maybe you don't have those decisions.
But
shit, you know
unfortunately, there are a lot of insecure men that even if a woman has some of the things that he has, but it's still like we could talk forever.
Yeah, we can.
So, on that note.
Oh, sorry. we might got here. Go ahead. We're going to say something. Get it.
Peace and love, man. Peace and love. I feel like it shouldn't be that complicated.
It shouldn't, but unfortunately it is.
It shouldn't be that complicated.
Because as a woman, I meet, unfortunately, a lot of insecure men that just because, like, not that I brag about shit that I have, that it's like, but just the fact that it's there.
It just sounds like the guys you meet don't have half the shit you have and they can't handle the fact that you have that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but you just keep working. Like I just feel like men should just keep working.
My thing is like, you know.
But I meet dudes that have the shit I have and it's still some shit. I don't
think people should go for people who have the shit they have. I think things should just be natural, organic, and if you meet someone who y'all gel together, y'all give it a try. And I feel like anything else.
I mean, that could, like I said, that's facts. That's good.
I mean, my mother always taught me if you drive and he don't drive, then you don't. There you go. Then no, it's not.
I told you the same shit.
If you got a car and he don't have a car, it's not a go.
Not a go. I'm gonna get out of here. Okay?
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So it's hard. If I have all these and dating a man in New York, most people don't have cars, but I got one. Okay. So if I find a man that don't drive, I'm supposed to just be like,
in this day and age,
you know how many people I know that don't have cars because they live in New York City?
They're rich. They can pay for Ubers all day.
I mean, I guess
at least that you better come up with an Uber or something.
I'm just saying. I haven't been picked up for a date and I don't know how long.
You said that shit last time. Wow. You heard the episode. She said that last time. I
was like, I've never been picked up. Last time I've been either picked up or dropped home after like a date, it has been years.
Madness.
Years. Because either a dude doesn't drive.
Like, for legit, I can't even get into that. Like,
on the next note, that is another
what was
topic.
Oh my God.
Listen, guys, this is going forever. You know how this can go. Now, you know, me and Trey do. Y'all know me and Sal. We could talk forever and shit. It's just how we are. But listen, we want to go with this shit. How we want to end this shit off?
Thanks for tuning in to the ratchetry of talking about relationships. Women, y'all stay out here. Y'all stay true to yourselves, okay? If y'all listen to Derrick Jaxn, he gave you encouragement, it's okay. Still hold on to that encouragement because it was still truth.
It was.
Such as what he said.
It was.
But still, you know, niggas be niggas, so it's okay.
Damn, okay.
It is okay. But get that compensation if you can. I'm just saying.
Hey, yo, you know how we do out here, Keep It a Frank Podcast. Absolutely. Follow us on IG on Keep It a Frank 100. Am I good over here? You looking at you scaring me and shit, nigga. Am I good? All right, go. Keep It a Frank 100. You know how we do. You know, Third Eye Media Network on YouTube. You can follow. You can basically look at all the episodes on there. Of course, iTunes and Spotify. Follow Sugar Trey on
Traylon Husbands on Instagram.
And then you have my nigga Sel.
Thank you, Selvin, for coming.
At Question, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
All right, and
that's how you pronounce it?
At Question. It's because listen, Tiana's my middle name, and Quest was my line name, so I just kind of combine them together and call it Question.
And I love the niggas follow me. Follow Keston Frank. That's my photography page. How I do, and also follow BK Holla. You know what I'm saying? How we do? You know what I'm saying? One thing for the gang and shit. How we do? So yes, Keep It a Frank Podcast. We out of here. Boom.
Yeah.